Good morning, all. Today we'll go through the second topic, the second session of the chapter Basic Elements of Spectroscopy. In the previous class, we have discussed the quantization of energy, and we discussed about absorption spectra and emission spectra. Here we discussed the regions of spectra. The absorption or emission spectra spreads through the electromagnetic spectra, EM waves, from radio frequency to up to the X-ray regions. So this region, the radio frequencies region, is connected with nuclear magnetic resonance and electron spin resonance spectroscopy. The energy change involved here is arising from the reversal of spins of nucleus or electron. ESR or the electron spin resonance is due to the reversal of spin of electron, and NMR spectroscopy is due to the reversal of spin of nucleus. And next is the microwave region. It is connected with rotational spectroscopy. It is due to the rotation of the molecule. The separation of rotational levels, rotational energy levels of the molecule are the order of hundreds of joules per mole. Here, you should remember the different regions. First is radio frequency region, and the second is microwave region, and the third is infrared region, and next is the visible and ultraviolet region, and lastly the X-ray and gamma ray region. Okay, the infrared region is connected with vibrational spectroscopy, and Visible and ultraviolet region is connected with electronic spectroscopy. And the X-ray and gamma ray is connected with Mossbauer spectroscopy. Just remember only the different regions. First is radio frequency region, microwave region, infrared region, visible and ultraviolet region, and X-ray region and gamma ray region. And in our syllabus, we have to discuss mainly the rotational spectroscopy and vibrational spectroscopy and the Raman spectroscopy. Raman spectroscopy is some special cases of rotational and vibrational spectroscopy. So in our syllabus, we have to go through the rotational spectroscopy, vibration spectroscopy, and Raman spectroscopy. In the PG classes, you have to discuss, you have to go through all the regions. In PG, a paper, molecular spectroscopy, will be discussed. And it is a pictorial representation of the previous ones. And look at here. And the first is the reversal of nuclear spin. It is connected with NMR, nuclear magnetic resonance. And the second is electron, change of electron spin. Okay. It is ESR, electron spin resonance. In these two cases, change of spin is occurring. In the first one, nuclear spin is changing, and the second one, electron spin is changing. And here, the third one, change of orientation due to rotation. And it is microwave spectroscopy or rotational spectroscopy. And the third one, it is the change of configuration due to the vibration. Okay. So it is vibration spectroscopy or infrared spectroscopy. And the next is the change of electron distribution. In that case, different cases may occur. Okay. If the transition of outermost electrons, the transition of loosely bounded electron, then it must be in visible and ultraviolet region. And the transition of inner bound electron it will occur in X-ray region. And lastly, the change of nuclear configuration. It is the gamma ray spectroscopy. And in the previous picture, look at here. The first is given in terms of wave number, and the second is given in terms of wavelength, and the third in terms of frequency and energy. Okay, then it is increasing order of energy from left to right. Increasing energy or increasing frequency, decreasing wavelength, increasing wave number. Here the odd man is wavelength. Only it is decreasing, all the other things increases. Okay. So from this figure, we can get an idea about the energies. Here the energies represent joules per mole. In the NMR case, it is very low, 10 raised to minus 3, and it is 10 raised to minus 1. In microwave, it is from 10 to 1000, and in infrared, 1000 to 10,000. It is represented in this figure. So the total energy of a molecule must be the sum of all the energies. E total must be E orbital plus E vibration plus E rotation, etc. And here we discuss all the regions in some details. First, the radio frequency region. Here we may consider the nucleus and electron to be tiny charged particle. And it follows that their spin is associated with a tiny magnetic dipole. This, if the spin is reversing, then the magnetic dipole also reversing. The reversal of this dipole consequent upon the spin reversal can interact with the magnetic field of electromagnetic radiation at the appropriate frequency. There must be an interaction of the electromagnetic radiation and with the magnetic dipole. Interaction of magnetic dipole with the electromagnetic radiation. This will gives you an absorption or emission spectra in radio frequency region. Next is the microwave region. It is due to the rotation. Consider a molecule HCl, hydrogen chloride, in which hydrogen carries a permanent positive charge and chlorine have negative charge, or it is said to have a permanent electric dipole moment. Okay. And on the other hand, H2 or Cl2, in which there is no such separation. So they have a zero dipole moment. We can describe this in a different way. That is, in hydrogen molecule and chlorine molecule, sharing occurs. They are homonuclear, same type, same atom composed to form molecule. So it is homonuclear. So the effective positive center and negative center of the hydrogen atoms coincides. So they cancels. So we have a zero dipole moment here. And in the case of chlorine molecule also. But in the case of HCl, when we compare the size of hydrogen and chlorine, the effective positive center and negative center does not coincide. It gives rise to a electric dipole moment. All the molecule having a permanent dipole moment are said to be microwave active. If a molecule is microwave active, it will give you an absorption or emission spectrum in microwave region. So all the molecule having a permanent dipole moment are said to be microwave active. If there is no dipole moment, as in H2 or Cl2, no interaction can take place and the molecule is microwave inactive. Or we can say that homonuclear molecules are microwave inactive. Next, we discuss the infrared. Oh, before going to that, just we look at how the rotation give you a spectra. In the previous slide, when we take the case of hydrogen chloride, we know that in the hydrogen chloride, there is a electric dipole moment. Okay. Then if the molecule is rotate, the dipole direction of dipole also changes. Okay. If we taking the vertical component of the dipole moment, it will give you a shape, a graph like this. It is a sinusoidally varying curve. It may interact with the electromagnetic wave, then it will give you a spectrum. Next is infrared region. Here, a vibration give rise to a dipole change. Here, consider a carbon dioxide molecule CO2. It is a linear molecule. Here, a net positive charge on the carbon and small negative charges on two oxygens. And in this molecule, different types of vibrations can be occur. First one is symmetric stretch. Here in the symmetric stretch, the molecule is alternately stretched and compressed, both CO bond changing simultaneously. Here the center is carbon and at the ends oxygen. Here both bonds stretching and compressing simultaneously. So there is no change in the dipole moment. Here the carbon has a partial positive 2 delta plus and the oxygen has partial negative charge. But as it is symmetric stretch, the CO bond in the left and right side are equal in length, So the effective center of the positive charge and negative charge does not vary. So the positive center, effective positive center and negative center must coincide. So there is no variation in the dipole moment. So the dipole moment remains zero throughout the whole this motion. So this is infrared inactive. Next is antisymmetric stretching. Here, one CO bond is compressing, the other is expanding. Here, one bond stretching and the other is compressed. So here there must be a variation So in this case, the effective positive center and the negative center does not coincide. It will give rise to a dipole moment. So it will infrared active. So there is a periodic alteration of dipole moment and the vibration is infrared active. Graphically, it can be represented in this way. So the variation of dipole moment is like this, and the vertical component of the dipole moment varies as this one. So due to this variation, it must interact with electromagnetic radiation. So it is anti-symmetric stretches infrared active. Next is bending mode. This is the bending vibration of carbon dioxide. Here also, the effective positive center and negative center does not coincide. So it will be infrared active. Graphically, we can represent this as here the vertical component of the dipole varies sinusoidally, so it will interact with electromagnetic radiation, so it is infrared active. So the vibration of carbon dioxide, two modes, the asymmetric stretching and the bending mode, is infrared active. In the bending mode, there is two types of bending vibration possible. One bending in the plane of the board, and the second bending is into and out to the board. Down and up of the, or inside and outside of the boards. Okay. And here it is an interesting thing that in these vibrations, symmetric stretch, asymmetric stretch, or bending, in all the vibrations, the center of gravity of the molecule does not move. And here in the figures, the relative motion of the atoms are very much exaggerated. In real molecules, the displacement of atoms during the vibration is seldom more than 10% of the bond length. And the dipole change requirement imposes some limitation on the application of infrared spectroscopy, even though the appearance or non-appearance of certain vibration frequencies can give valuable information about the structure of a particular molecule. Next, we discuss the visible and ultraviolet region. The excitation of a valence electron involves the moving of electronic charges in the molecule. The consequent change in the electric dipole give rise to a spectrum by its interaction with electromagnetic radiation. It will be in the visible or ultraviolet region. In our syllabus, we have to discuss only these regions. So I stop here.